Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're gonna try to do a video. It's gonna be my what I added to Goodreads / what I bought in the Audible sale. It is a lot, and my list is only growing because Alma from Alma's Book Journey just did a new releases video, and I got a bunch of titles. So I need to do this before this list gets out of control and we're here for hours. Honestly, it's the most wonderful time of the year. This is when everybody posts Vlogmas, and like all the book recs come in December because everybody's getting books. So there's book hauls and everybody's recommending books, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, my TBR is getting out of control and I need to get this done before more is added to it. Hopefully I get to upload this. If not, we'll see. I mentioned in my last video that I'm having some technical difficulties. YouTube and VoiceOver, which is a talking program on my phone, don't like each other at the moment. Every time VoiceOver is on, YouTube kicks me off regularly, especially when I try to post a comment. I managed to post my announcement video saying why I was MIA, but that's because I didn't do anything with the video. I just clicked upload. Whereas with this one, I have to well, I don't have to, but I always make it a point to tag people and, to give them credit for giving me the book recs or where I heard the books from. And I might not be able to do that. I may just have to click upload, and if you see it, you see it. So yeah, let's just do this. So, we're going to start with all the books that I got in the Audible sale. So the first one is Reflection by Diane Chamberlain. I did not know that Diane Chamberlain wrote an Amish book, or a book about the Amish, but she did. Returning home 20 years after a tragic accident that caused the Pennsylvania Dutch townspeople of Reflection to condemn her, Rachel Huber cares for her ailing grandmother despite open hostility and finds allies in two childhood friends. She wrote this in the 90s, so this should be interesting. So I don't know if Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books has it in her Amish list, but you may want to try it out. Then I got A Mother's Love by Charlotte Hubbard, another Amish book. You notice a theme here? I went looking for Amish. Faith, tenderness, security. There's nothing a mother won't give. Now, beloved, okay. For widow Rose Raber, it's been a year of tragic loss and difficult decisions. She thought providing for her young daughter was the greatest challenge she faced, until her dying mother revealed that Rose is adopted and her birth mother is someone with much to lose if the secret comes out. As Rose struggles to reconcile the truth with her faith and her troubling curiosity As Rose struggles to reconcile the truth with her faith and her troubling curiosity, outgoing newcomer Matthias Wagler is another surprise she didn't expect. His optimism and easy understanding inspires her, and his prospective partnership with wealthy deacon Saul Hartzler promises a possible new life for them together. But with this second chance comes yet another revelation for all involved. When Saul's wife unexpectedly turns up at Rose's new job. Okay, house phone has to ring.
Call from Spam Brisk.
Let this thing finish.
Call from Spam Brisk.
When Saul's wife unexpectedly turns up at Rose's new job, their bond as mother and daughter is instant and unmistakable. And it isn't long before an unforgiving Saul discovers the truth, threatening Matthias's livelihood and Rose's future. Now, with more than just their happiness at stake, Rose and Matthias must find the strength and courage to stand strong and trust God's enduring miracles of motherhood, forgiveness, and love. Then I found this. A Midwife's Tale, The Life of Martha Ballard, based on her diary from 1785 to 1812, by Laurel Thatcher. Laurel Thatcher Ulrich. I've never heard of this. This is the same woman that The Frozen River was based on, so there was another book about her. It's probably has excerpts from her diary, and they probably added some to it. Sounds fun, so I bought that. So yeah, I went from midwife. Midwife was another keyword that I typed in when I was just randomly searching. Anyway, so yeah, next we're going to have a bunch of midwife books. So the first one's called The Midwife by Jolena Petersheim. Since the day Rhoda, I cannot pronounce this last name, was baptized into the Old Order Mennonite Church and became the head midwife of Hoppenhaus, she's been torn between the needs of the unwed mothers under her care and her desire to conceal the secrets of her past. Contact with the outside world could provide medical advantages, but remaining secluded in the community gives her the anonymity she craves. Graduate student Beth Winslow is on a path she never would have chosen. Heartbroken after surrendering a baby to adoption, she devotes herself to her studies until she becomes pregnant again, this time as a surrogate. But when early tests indicate possible abnormalities, Beth is unprepared for the parents' decision to end the pregnancy, and for the fierce love she feels for this unborn child. Desperate, she flees the city and seeks refuge at Hoppenhaus. Past and present collide when a young woman named Amelia arrives to the sweeping countryside bearing secrets of her own. As Amelia's due date draws nearer, Rhoda must face her past and those she thought she had left behind in order for the healing power of love and forgiveness to set them all free. Doesn't that sound good? Next we have The Midwife's Secret by Emily Gunnis. A little girl goes missing from Yew Trees Manor, the same house from which a girl vanished decades before. Does the key to the present lie buried even deeper in the past, in the forgotten history of an innocent midwife accused by a family of shocking betrayal? I'm stopping there. Sounds good, right? The rest of the description just has too much description. There's two timelines. There's a present timeline and there's an 1830s timeline. And I need to get through these books quickly. This is moving too quick. The Midwives by Anna Schofield. She'd kill to be a mother. Dartford General Hospital is deeply shaken when its star midwife Sarah is arrested for trying to steal a baby. In the ensuing shock, midwives Erica and Sue rally to reassure Dartford's patients, including Leela, an expectant mother whose trust has been broken before. Leela reluctantly accepts the hospital's support. After all, she isn't getting enough of that at home. But when Sarah is released from custody, Leela's paranoia escalates. As her due date ticks closer and closer, Leela can't shake the feeling someone is watching her and waiting. Everyone at Dartford wants the best for her child, but a mother's instinct is telling her that someone among them wants more from her, and will stop at nothing to take it. Yeesh. That's pretty wild. I think I accidentally skipped past a book. I'm trying to find it. I may have to start this over. This video is terrible, quality-wise. Yep, I did skip past the book. The Midwife by Tricia Cresswell. 1830. After a violent storm, a woman is found alone, naked, near death on the Northumberland moors. She has no memory of who she is or how she got there, but she can remember how to help a woman in labor, how to expertly dress a wound, and can speak fluent French. With the odds against her, a penniless single woman, she starts to build her life from scratch, using her skills to help other women around her. She finds a happy place in the world, until tragedy strikes and she must run for her life. In London, Dr. Borthwick lives a solitary life, working as an, I cannot pronounce this word, together with his midwife, Mrs. Bates, dealing with mothers and babies in both the elegant homes of high society and alongside a young widow, Eleanor Johnson, volunteering in the slums of the Devil's Acres. His professional reputation is spotless, and he keeps his private life just as clean, isolating himself from any new acquaintances. He is harboring a dark secret from his past, one that threatens to spill over everything. I don't know what that means, these two timelines, but I want to know. Next we have An Amish Christmas by Cynthia Keller. Meg Hobart has a happy marriage to a handsome, successful husband, a beautiful home in Charlotte, North Carolina, and 3 wonderful children. But it all comes crashing down around her the day she learns that her husband, James, has been living a lie and has brought the family to financial ruin. Penniless and homeless, the Hobarts pack up what little they still possess and leave behind their golden life for good. But it's not the material things Meg finds herself mourning. Instead, she misses the certainty that she should remain married to James, who has betrayed her trust so thoughtlessly. Worse, she is suddenly very aware of just how spoiled her children have become. Meg wonders what her family has really sacrificed in their pursuit of the American dream. A frightening twist of fate forces the Hobarts to take refuge with a kind Amish family in Pennsylvania, where they find themselves in a home with no computers, no cell phones, nothing the children consider fashionable or fun. Her uncooperative brood, confined to the Amish world of hard work and tradition, their future is entirely uncertain. Meg fears she can never make her family whole again. Celebrating life's simplest but most essential values, packed with laughter and tears, this is a story of forgiveness and the power of love. You will never forget the special moment in time, which is An Amish Christmas. I'm reading that today. I mean, like, this month, not today, necessarily. But it sounds like a good Christmas story. Next we have If I Were You by Lynn Austin. Heard about this one from Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. She just read it. Okay. I've only read one Lynn Austin book, While We're Far Apart, but I liked it. Okay, 1950. In the wake of the war, Audrey Clarkson leaves her manor house in England for a fresh start in America with her young son. As a widowed war bride, Audrey needs the support of her American in-laws, whom she has never met. But she arrives to find that her longtime friend, Eve Dawson, has been impersonating her for the past 4 years. Unraveling this deception will force Audrey and Eve's secrets and the complicated history of their friendship to the surface. Excuse me? I didn't even look at this when I read it, when I added it. Like, it's so blunt, the description. Like, they really switch places. I thought Katie was kidding. Then we have The Wish Book Christmas by Lynn Austin. It's like a sequel Christmas novella. Then I bought the When Hope Calls series by Jeanette Oak. Unyielding Hope, Sustaining Faith, and Unfailing Love. I'm not going to talk about those because it's a series. And then I went down a rabbit hole of Chloe from Always Booked. She has, like, I realized I never watched her old Vlogmas videos during my binge session when I first discovered her channel. I thought that the Vlogmas videos were, like, vlogs, and I was like, okay, no offense, but I don't want to watch your kids decorate a Christmas tree. No, it turns out she opens books during this time, and I missed a bunch of books. I only found a couple I was interested in. Turns out she only really started reading more similarly to me in the past couple of years. But I still got a couple. And the first one is Trophy Life by Leah Geller. For the past 10 years, Agnes Parkson's biggest challenge has been juggling yoga classes and lunch dates. Her Santa Monica house staff takes care of everything, leaving Agnes to focus on her trophy wife look perfect, adore her older husband, and wear terribly expensive, if uncomfortable, underwear. Okay, then. When her husband disappears, leaving Agnes and their infant daughter with no money, no home, and no staff, she is forced to move across the country, where she lands a job teaching at an all-boys boarding school in the Bronx. So, So long organic quinoa bowls and sunshine-filled So long organic quinoa bowls and sunshine-filled California life. Hello, processed food, pest-infested house, and 12-year-old boy humor. All day, every day. I see what they're doing here. But it's in this place of second chances and giant bugs where Agnes is unexpectedly forced to take care of herself and her daughter, where she finds out the kind of woman she can be. Ultimately, she has to decide if she prefers the woman and mother she has become or the trophy life she left behind. Okay, I'm interested, but can we stop making every California family vegetarians? I have never eaten a quinoa bowl in my life, nor do I ever want to try one. Ew. Not all of us just eat vegetables, okay? I'm having a burger tonight, and it is not a veggie burger. No offense, Chloe, you're a vegetarian. I respect all vegetarians. I just think that not every Californian is a vegetarian, and it should be acknowledged. But all the books have us be California vegetarians and wear fashionable clothes. I am filming this in my pajamas at 2 in the afternoon because it is cold. I have nowhere to go, and you know what? I'm proud of it. Anyway, rant over. Next we have The Christmas You Found Me, Heart of the Wilderness, book number 1. I guess that's going to be a series by Sarah Morgenthaler. I heard about this one from the Currently Reading podcast. It sounds really good. Sienna Naples' family has taken care of their wild Idaho land for generations, and Sienna can't imagine any other life. But at Christmas time, with her parents gone and her painful marriage finally over, it's full of memories and incredibly lonely. Until a tall, handsome stranger and a little girl walk into her life, and suddenly the holidays are alive again. When single father Guy Maple shows up as the result of an ad meant to be a joke, the handsome Montana construction worker isn't joking. Money is tight this Christmas, and Guy's 4-year-old daughter, Emma, has stage 5 chronic kidney disease. She needs a kidney transplant, but if Guy can't provide that, he can't prove that he can afford Emma's anti-rejection medication, his daughter isn't going to stay on the transplant list. Guy is willing to do anything, including marrying a stranger, to keep her safe. It's an impulsive marriage of convenience, and Sienna knows this isn't real. No matter how much she adores Emma, how well Guy fits into the ranching life, or how much light and laughter is coming into their lives as a result. But the more time she spends with her new family, the more she fears losing the fragile, feisty little girl and the kind, devoted, hardworking, incredibly attractive man who is her husband. But is it only in name? So, I don't understand. I think she did like a joke mail order bride letter and just sent it out because she was bored just to see what would happen, not expecting anything to actually happen, which is hilarious. This is like Sarah Plain and Tall, where you request a mail order bride, only she's requesting a mail order husband. Sounds funny. Anyway, then we have With Every Memory by Janine. I cannot pronounce this last name. I heard about this one from Chloe from Always Booked, from another Vlogmas video. After a tragic accident robs her of the last 9 years of memories, Lori Mendenhall comes home to a family completely different than she remembers. As her memory returns and past secrets resurface, it will take all of them to repair what's been broken and find a new future together. Sounds like What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty, and I'm in. Next we have Heirlooms by Sandra Bird. I heard about this one from book lover Amanda. I went to, I think it was her video about the best Christian fiction books of all time. Answering a woman's desperate call for help, young Navy widow Helen DeVries opens her Whidbey Island home as a refuge to Choi Yoon-hee. I hope I did not butcher that. As they bond over common losses and a delicate, potentially devastating secret, their friendship spans the remainder of their lives. After losing her mother, Cassidy Quinn spends her childhood summers with her grand Helen at her farmhouse. Nourished by her great-grandmother's love and encouragement, Cassidy discovers a passion that she hopes will bloom into a career. But after Helen passes, Cassidy learns that her home and garden have fallen into serious disrepair. Worse, a looming tax debt threatens her inheritance. Facing the loss of her legacy and in need of allies and ideas, Cassidy reaches out to Nick, her former lover, despite the complicated emotions brought about by having him back in her life. Cassidy inherits not only the family home, but a task, spoken with her grandmother's final breaths. Ask Grace Kim, Yoonhee's granddaughter, to help sort through the contents of the locked hope chest in the attic. As she and Grace dig into the past, they unearth their grandmother's long-held secrets and more. Each starting revelation reshapes their understanding of their grandmothers and ultimately inspires the courage to take risks and make changes to their own lives. Sounds fun. I like secrets. Then I'm going to quickly list other books that I got that I already kind of talked about in other TBR or other Goodreads videos that were just on my wish list. I got the Christmas Tree Farm book series by Jacqueline Frost. So that's 12 Slaves of Christmas, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Slashing Through the Snow, Stalking Around the Christmas Tree, and I'll Be Home for Mischief. And I actually already read them all, except I'm on the last one now. Then I got The Choice by Dr. Eva Eger, Olivetti by Allie Millington, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy, Why We're Still Obsessed with Little Women. I think that's the subtitle. I can't remember. I forgot to write the subtitle, like the rest of the title. Then I got Ground Zero by Alan Gratz, A Truth Revealed by Tracy Peterson, Justice by Emily Conrad. So yeah, that's everything that I bought in the Audible sale. Now I'm going to talk about other books that I did not get. Some I forgot to get. I put them on my wish list and then I forgot to buy them when they were on sale. Including this first one, Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. I heard about this one from the Currently Reading podcast. Apparently it's like the story of how Christmas Carol was created. It's Charles Dickens' story. Then we have A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. I heard about this one from Jen from The Bookish Blonde. This one is coming out on January 7th. A woman investigates her brother's mysterious death while coming to terms with her own haunting past in this atmospheric novel. She wrote The Unmaking of June Farrow, which I loved, so I'm giving this one a chance. And I'm not going to read any more from this one because with this particular author, from what I understand, it's better just to go in blind. Then we have The Sirens by Amelia Hart. Also, another Jen recommendation. This one's coming out April 1st. I'm talking about her new release video. A bunch of people are doing new release videos for the new year. This one's about mermaids, I think. The last one was kind of witchy. And had some stuff I wasn't into, but I'm going to try her again. A story of sisters separated by hundreds of years, but bound together in more ways than they can imagine. 2019. Lucy awakens in her ex-lover's room in the middle of the night with her hands around his throat. Horrified, she flees to her sister's house on the coast of New South Wales, hoping Jess can help explain the vivid dreams that preceded the attack, but her sister is missing. As Lucy waits for her return, she starts to unearth strange rumors about Jess's town. Tales of numerous missing men spread over decades. A baby abandoned in a sea-swept cave. Whispers of women's voices on the waves. All the while, her dreams start to feel closer than ever. 1880. Mary and Eliza are torn from their loving home in Ireland and forced onto a convict ship headed for Australia. As the boat takes them farther and farther away from all that they know, they begin to notice unexplainable changes in their bodies. A breathtaking tale of female resilience. Okay. Basically, I'm assuming they're going to be mermaids? I don't know. Next we have Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. This is a Chloe book. I've heard about this before, but she convinced me to read it. I added it to my wish list, and then I forgot to buy it. Dummy. Me, not her. And now it's expensive again, so I have to wait till it'll be on sale at some point. But basically this one is about, okay, it's New Year's Eve 1982, and Una Lockhart has her whole life before her. At the stroke of midnight, she will turn 19, and the year ahead promises to be one of consequence? Should she go to London to study economics or remain at home in Brooklyn to pursue her passion for music and be with her boyfriend? As the countdown to the new year begins, Una faints and awakens 32 years in the future in her 51-year-old body. Greeted by a friendly stranger in a beautiful house she's told is her own, Una learns that with each passing year, she will leap to another age at random. And so begins Una Out of Order. Hopping through decades, pop culture fads, and much-needed stock tips, Una is still a young woman on the inside, but ever-changing on the outside. Who will she be next year? Philanthropist? Club kid? World traveler? Wife to a man she's never met? Surprising, magical, and heart-wrenching. Okay. That's the review. But, sounds fun, right? Weird time travel. I don't know why it took me so long to want to read it. Next, we have One Good Thing by Georgia Hunter. I heard about this one from Gloria Z. Thompson, and Alma's Book Journey just added it to her new release video that came out today. This book is coming out March 4th. Georgia Hunter wrote We Were the Lucky Ones. She hasn't written one since, and I am so excited. From the New York Times bestselling author of We Were the Lucky Ones, an unforgettable story of hardship and hope, courage and resilience that follows one young woman's journey through wartime Italy. 1941. Emilia Romagna. Lily and Este have been friends since meeting at the University of Ferrara. When Este's son Theo is born, they become as close as sisters. There is a war being fought across borders, and in Italy, Mussolini's racial laws have deemed Lily and Este descendants of an inferior Jewish race. But life somehow goes on, until Germany invades northern Italy and the friends find themselves in occupied territory. I'm going to stop now. Next we have The Wedding Dress Sewing Circle by Jennifer Ryan. I honestly do not remember where I heard this. Who gave me the rec? That's pretty much when my phone started acting up. How I usually remember recommendations is I write a comment, like, thanks for this, and I look for the comment. Anyway, I forgot to write it down, and now I can't remember. Three plucky women lift the spirits of homefront brides in wartime Britain, where clothes rationing leaves little opportunity for pomp and celebration, even at weddings. After renowned fashion designer Cressida Westcott loses both her home and her design house in the London Blitz, she has nowhere to go but the family manor house she fled decades ago. Praying that her niece and nephews will be more hospitable than her brother had been, she arrives with nothing but the clothes she stands in, at a loss as to how to rebuild her business while standing in a quaint country village. Her niece, Violet Westcott, is thrilled that her famous aunt is coming to stay. The village has been interminably dull with all the men off fighting. But just as Cressida arrives, so does Violet's conscription letter. It couldn't have come at a worse time. How will she ever find a suitably aristocratic husband if she has to spend her days wearing a frumpy uniform and doing war work? Meanwhile, the local vicar's daughter, Grace Carlyle, is trying in vain to repair her mother's gown, her only chance of a white wedding. When Cressida Westcott appears at the local sewing circle meeting, Grace asks her for her help, but Cressida has so much to teach the ladies than just simple sewing skills. Before long, Cressida's spirit and ambition galvanizes the village group into action, and they find themselves mending wedding dresses not only for brides, but for brides across the country. And as the women dedicate themselves to helping others celebrate love, they might even manage to find it for themselves. Fun. Next we have I'll Be Seeing You by Robin Lee Hatcher. Heard about this one from Krista from Books and Jams. Generations of secrets unfold as a young college student learns the truth about her great-grandmother. It's World War II, heartbreak, and love. I'm stopping there. This video is getting really long. Then I have a couple short story collections. An Amish Second Christmas, a Lancaster Amish Christmas. And then I have one more Amish Christmas story. This one's a full-length novel. A Plain and Fancy Christmas by Cynthia Keller. Raised in a Pennsylvania Amish community, young mother Rachel Yoder has led a simple life within her close-knit family. Widowed 3 years ago, she has moved back in with her parents, attempting to raise her daughter, Katie, without further emotional upheaval. Meanwhile, 4 hours and a whole world away in New York City, Ellie Lawrence is laser-focused on a high-powered public relations career with too little time for her family, her friends, or even her boyfriend. Then one fateful day, these two very different women receive shocking news of a mistake made 3 decades earlier and long kept. Shortly after their births, the two were accidentally switched in the hospital. Shaken to the core by this momentous news, Rachel and Ellie are plunged into an exploration of who they are and where they really belong. So yeah, they're going to switch places, which sounds fine. Next we have The Color of Home by Kit Tisello. Heard about this one from Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. Audrey Needham, Bay Area interior designer to the rich and pretentious, is down to her last nerve. Her boss is impossible to please. Her future is in jeopardy. And her great-aunt Daisy needs support as her husband descends into Alzheimer's. When Daisy enlists Audrey's help preparing for a move to assisted living, Audrey risks her career to return to the idyllic small town of Charity Falls, Oregon, the summer stomping grounds of her childhood. But Charity Falls was also the place that broke her heart when her father was killed in a tragic fire at the Sugar Pine Inn 13 years ago. Despite Audrey's intent to avoid emotional entanglements, the pull of home is hard to resist. Something should be done about the deteriorating inn. A local girl with an incarcerated father needs a friend, and handsome local do-gooder Kate Carter is coloring Audrey all shades of uncertain. So yeah, it sounds like a romance, but why not? The screen is moving too fast. I think the file is so big. Anyway, next we have a bunch of new releases. It's all Alma's fault. A Map to Paradise by Susan Meisner. This one's coming out on March 18th. Something is not right on Paradise Circle. 1956 Malibu. With her name on the Hollywood blacklist and her life on hold, Charlotte Melanie Cole has little choice in company. There is her next-door neighbor, Elwood, but the screenwriter's agoraphobia allows for just short chats through the open windows. He's her sole confidant, though, as she and her housekeeper, Ava, an immigrant from war-torn Europe, rarely make conversation. Then one early morning, Melanie and Ava spot Elwood's sister-in-law and caretaker June digging in his beloved rose garden. After that, they don't see Elwood at all anymore. Where could a man who never leaves the house possibly have gone? And why in the world are they digging in his garden? Or why is she digging in his garden? Did she bury him? It's not funny, but I mean, you know. Then Every Hour Until Then by Gabrielle Meyer. It's the 5th book in the Timeless series. It's releasing on May 20th. We're not talking about that. Then we have The Collector of Burned Books by Roseanne M. White. I've heard of this author, but I've never read any. This is coming out July 15th. In this gripping World War II historical fiction about the power of words, two people form an unlikely friendship amid the Nazi occupation in Paris and fight to preserve the truth that enemies of freedom long to destroy. So it sounds like they try to protect books. and fall in love in the process. Next we have Before Dorothy by Hazel Gaynor. This is coming out June 17th. I cannot wait. This sounds really good. Long before Dorothy visits Oz, her Aunt Emily Gale sets off on her own grand adventure, leaving gritty Chicago behind for Kansas and a life that will utterly change her. Chicago, 1924. Emily Gale and her new husband, Henry, yearn to leave the bustle of Chicago behind for promise of their own American dream. But leaving the city means leaving Emily's beloved sister, Annie, who was once closer to her than anything in the world. Kansas, 1932. Emily and Henry have made a life in the warmth of the community of liberal Kansas and among the harsh beauty of the prairie. Their lives hold a precarious and hopeful purpose until tragedy strikes and their orphan niece, Dorothy, lands on their doorstep. The wide-eyed child isn't the only thing to disrupt Emily's world. Drought and devastating dust storms threaten to destroy everything, and their much-loved home becomes a place of uncertainty and danger. When the past catches up with the present and old secrets are exposed, Emily fears she will lose the most cherished thing of all, Dorothy. I'm interested. And I cannot believe I have to wait this long. The Story She Left Behind by Patty Callahan Henry. This is coming out March 18th. Inspired by a true literary mystery, best-selling author of the mesmerizing... In 1927, 8-year-old Clara Harrington's magical childhood shatters when her mother, renowned author Bronwyn Newcastle Fordham, disappears off the coast of South Carolina. Bronwyn stunned the world with a book written in an invented language that became a national sensation when she was just 12 years old. Her departure leaves behind not only a devoted husband and heartbroken daughter, but also the hope of ever translating the sequel to her landmark work. As the headlines focus on the missing author, Clara yearns for something far deeper and more, her beautiful mother. By 1952, Clara is an illustrator raising her own daughter, Winnie. A voiceover calls her Whiny, and it just makes me laugh, because the way it's spelled, that's how it pronounces it. Anyway, when a stranger named Charlie Jameson contacts her from London, claiming to have discovered a handwritten dictionary of her mother's lost language, Clara is skeptical. Compelled by the tragedy of her mother's vanishing, she crosses the Atlantic with Winnie, only to arrive during one of London's most deadly natural disasters, the Great Smog. With asthmatic Winnie in peril, they escape the city with Charlie and find refuge in the Jameson family retreat nestled in the Lake District. It is there that Clara must find the courage to uncover the truth about her mother and the story she left behind. I'm in. I thought I had more. Huh. Anyway, I could have sworn I had another new release. Well, either way, if I have it, I'll give it the next one because this is really long. I'm hoping I can actually post this. So yeah. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will try to post another video soon. Bye.
Stop recording video.